Welcome to Learn to Live Stress-Free. This is Christine Wright with Dr. Robert Wright Jr. of www.stressfreenow.info.
Hi, this is Dr. Bob coming to you today live from someplace in Denmark. I'm on a Baltic cruise, and this is the last stop before we hit Amsterdam. So I had planned to go out on shore, but when I went to get off the ship, it was colder than I expected. So I decided to stay on the ship. And so I'm a little bundled up, but it feels great here in the sun. I was told it was going to be around 67 degrees, but it doesn't feel 67 degrees to me. So in any event, what I want to talk to you is the pros and cons of cruising, because I am emphasizing now that cruising is a fantastic way to experience the world. Why? Because it has so many things that the average traveler could really enjoy. The first thing that a cruise has is that I love is that you can do as much or as little as you want. And so if you want to sleep late, or you want to go on a shore excursion, or you just want to have room service, or you want to go to a show or not. Like, for example, on this cruise, I have chosen not to eat in the main dining room because there's so many other venues available. So I've eaten in the Lido, I've eaten in the Lido, and I've eaten in some of the two of the premium restaurants, and also in a smaller venue, plus the room service. The room service has been remarkable. So so I felt today, actually this morning, I came down and I was on the floor where the main dining room was. And so I took a peek. It's absolutely gorgeous. Nothing not to like. But I've had such an amazing experience in the other eating venues. I don't feel that I have to go there. Now, in the main dining room, sometimes you have to dress up. And so one of the reasons that I didn't go to the main dining room, because they have the dressy nights, is that when I opened my suitcase unexpectedly, because it was packed so tight and I only had one suitcase, the pair of shoes that I had, one of I'm trying to think what to call the top of the shoe, the thread that was holding the top of the dressy moccasin came loose. And so when I put my foot into the shoe, the whole top was flapping off. So I started laughing. I said, well, you can't go to the dining room, wear suit and jacket with sneakers on. So because of the situation with the travel restrictions, I'm basically just carrying one bag and one knapsack. Before I would have had no issue with, I had two bags. But since everything's packed very tight, and so one of my shoes got damaged. And I remember when I was putting it in the bag, and I said, well, I'm gonna put it on top. It should be okay. Well, that turned out not to be the case. So it can easily be repaired when I get home. But what it's meant is that I haven't gone to the dining room. Now, not every night is a dressy night. I'd say maybe 50% of the time. But, I have been on cruise ships where it is dressy, where 6 nights a week, you have to wear a suit or a tuxedo. So that's a different category. So the bottom line is there are many pluses to taking a cruise. So what might be some of the negatives of why a person wouldn't go on a cruise? Okay, first thing, they're afraid of water. Right? Second thing is they have been on a cruise and they've gotten seasick, or they've seen enough TV shows and movies like the Titanic, thinking that something disastrous is going to happen, or as simple as they're going to get seasick. So there are people that have issues with the waves being rough, and I have to say, this year the cruises I have been on, unexpectedly, the water has been rough, even in the Caribbean. However, the large ships all have like amazing stabilizers. So even if the water is rough, it's not that bad. Now, I'll be honest with you. Some of the stories I've heard from people who have done cross-Atlantic crossing, that could be, going from New York to Southampton, for example, that can be very, very, very rough. And how rough could it be? Well, I've seen video footage on YouTube where the front of the ship was underwater, and a wave came and hit the where the navigation deck, which was like 95 feet up, and broke the window. So that couldn't have been any fun. But that is the exception rather than the rule. It's like anything else, saying, well, you're driving a car and you could have an accident. Yes. People have accidents, people have flat tires, they get in, the car doesn't start, the windshield wipers don't work, etc. But 99.9% of the time, it's enjoyable. Let's see, what other reason might you not like going on a cruise? Oh, here's something. The fact that you're only in port most of the time for a very short period of time. So let's say the ship docks at 7 in the morning and it might pull out at 2:30 or 3. That's really not a lot of time to spend on shore. The good thing is that more and more cruises, especially the longer cruises, they are having overnight. So there's great demand for that. Let's imagine you pull into Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. You don't want to be there just for 6 hours. You'd like to experience Rio a little longer, go to an evening show, have breakfast on land, that type of thing. And so many of the longer cruises, especially the 14, 15 night cruises or longer, they have one or more overnights, and that is fantastic. So when you get a chance to stay longer than just 6 to 8 hours, it can be a boom, and so that gives you an opportunity to explore. And but as I said, for one of the downsides is if you like spending time in a place, or what can happen is you get off the ship at 9 in the morning and you got to be back by 4:30, and then at 1 o'clock you meet some wonderful people and they say, oh, let's have dinner tonight, or we want to invite you to our home to the backyard barbecue. Can't go. So that has happened to me several times. However, the good news is that once I had that experience, I was later able to go back and spend time. And so I've met some amazing people. And so that's one of the things that about the cruising is that if you like to meet people, it's an ideal way to meet people. If you don't like to meet people, it's also ideal because there are enough places where you can just be by yourself. You can stay in your cabin. Like on this trip, I have an inside cabin, and I usually like to have a balcony cabin. But this itinerary is very cold here, so it's basically irrelevant because I wouldn't be on the balcony. It's been very, very cold, and especially in the evening. Now, when I'm in a destination where it's someplace warm, sometimes I fall asleep on the balcony, or I spend a lot of time on the balcony. On the inside cabin, here's what's happened, is that I find myself exercising, which of course I know I need to do, but I've been doing all kinds of stretching and exercising, and it's been like an amazing I've been talking about exercising, but now I'm really exercising, and so consistently, and because I'm in an inside cabin. And then the other thing is that, again, one very big negative is if you're traveling solo, you can bump up against the dreaded single supplement, which is basically traveling by yourself, but the cruise line wants to hit you up for double occupancy. And so for me, that's a no-no. What I've said to them, listen, this may have been standard practice in the industry when the demographic was different. You know, you had people that were couples. Now there's a huge demographic of people that are solo. And solo for many reasons. Like in my particular case, my wife passed away, so I'm traveling solo. You know, I miss my wife, but I still want to travel. So, and when I ask people, hey, listen, would you like to go on a cruise with me? Blah, blah, blah. Oh, I like to go, but I can't. Oh, I like to go, I can't. Oh, no, I'm afraid of the water. Oh, I've been there already. And so basically, I'm at the point where I just stop asking people. And so I even have been at the point when I said, hey, listen, you want to go on a cruise? I'll pick up your tab. And they still won't go. So now I don't ask. And so I only look for cruises where I don't have to pay the single supplement. So that may limit where I can go. But hey, so then I do traditional, which I'll find a deal like to Punta Cana, and I'll go and stay there for an amazing price. And hotels don't charge a single supplement. And so, that's basically it. So this is Dr. Bob signing off from some place in Denmark. I wish I should be embarrassed, but I'm not. I basically, in the last, in the last 45 days, in the last 60 days, I have been to about 30 destinations. So that's why I'm not remembering. So maybe in the last 90 days, I've been to maybe 30 destinations. So and some of them more than once, like Dominican Republic and Aruba, where the cruise ships stop there going and coming. So in any event, this is Dr. Bob signing off from someplace in Denmark. As you can see, it's a lovely day. Let me just give you a little pan of where I am, since I'm not going ashore today. And so this will give you an idea of where I am. So one of the really nice things about this morning as we were coming in is that I didn't realize they have a series of very gorgeous islands. Really amazing, early in the morning. Oh, the other thing about this area is that the sun is up, starting maybe 3:30 in the morning. You started to see it's not dark. It came out at 3 o'clock, and then at 3:15, I was like, oh wow. So this is pretty amazing. So this will give you like an idea of what happens on a cruise when you decide not to get off, because we're at some kind of container port. This is not like a regular cruise ship port. So we're far outside the city, but in any event, this will give you some idea. We're someplace in Denmark, and so I'm not going ashore because when I came out, it was too cold. And because of what's going on, I could not bring a coat with me. So this is Dr. Bob saying, consider taking a cruise. It's a really a cool way to travel. And remember, you only have to pack and unpack once. And that's fantastic. From someplace in Denmark, this is Dr. Bob signing off from StressFreeNow.info. Until next time, be safe and be well.